If you've been composting for years and still feel like your garden isn't reaching its full potential, you're not alone. I was there too, turning piles, waiting months, managing smells, pests, and endless inputs, only to get okay results. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. Most of us aren't composting badly. We're composting wrong for our gardens. On Soilpower, we focus on systems that work with nature instead of copying industrial compost methods at a backyard scale. Today, I want to show you a raised bed system that doesn't just recycle waste. It eats it, locks carbon into the soil, and turns scraps into explosive harvests. This isn't theory. This is a practical, carbon-negative growing system you can build once and improve every season. Composting is sold as the holy grail of soil health, but most advice comes from large-scale waste management, not food production. Piles are designed to break material down fast, releasing heat, carbon dioxide, and nutrients into the air. That's fine if your goal is waste disposal. But gardeners want soil building. Most compost systems still emit carbon dioxide, but, this one actually stores more carbon than it releases. Buried wood decomposes slowly, forming stable humus over the years. Fungal networks bind carbon into soil aggregates, and plant roots, they pump liquid carbon into the soil through root exudates, feeding microbes that lock it in place. Instead of carbon escaping into the air, it becomes structure, fertility, and water retention. Your garden becomes a carbon sink, not just a food source. Gardeners often ask me what they'll notice first. It's not bigger leaves, it's consistency. Plants stop stalling mid-season. Greens stay tender longer, fruiting crops set more flowers and hold them. Even during dry spells, beds stay moist underneath because the decomposing carbon acts like a sponge. Nutrients are released slowly, in sync with plant demand. There's no boom and bust cycle like with synthetic fertilizers or hot compost. Roots grow deeper, wider, and more connected to soil life. Over time, pests decrease because plants are nutritionally balanced. Disease pressure drops because microbial diversity increases. You're not fighting problems anymore. You're preventing them biologically. One of the biggest advantages of this system is, honestly, its flexibility. Almost all household and garden waste becomes a resource. Vegetable scraps, fruit peels, eggshells, spoiled produce, weeds, grass clippings, leaves, prunings, sawdust, and even cardboard all work beautifully when you layer them correctly. Even materials people usually worry about, like citrus or onion scraps, break down harmlessly underground. What you want to avoid are synthetic chemicals, treated wood, plastics, and large amounts of oily or salty waste. The goal here is feeding soil organisms, not overwhelming them. If you're ever in doubt, just bury small amounts and observe. Soil is forgiving when it's alive. For beginners, this system really removes the pressure. There's no perfect ratio, no turning schedule, and no need for a compost thermometer. You just build it, plant it, and keep feeding it gently over time. For experienced gardeners, it offers something deeper, a way to close the loop completely. Waste becomes fertility. Fertility becomes food. Food creates more waste. Nothing leaves the system. It's regenerative gardening at a human scale, simple, powerful, and adaptable anywhere in the world. Maintenance is minimal, which is pretty great. At the end of each season, instead of clearing beds completely, you just chop residues and bury them shallowly. Add a thin carbon layer if the soil sinks, then top with mulch. Every few months, you can trench small amounts of kitchen waste between crops. The bed stays productive year-round without disruption. Over time, you'll notice the soil getting darker, looser, and richer. That's not compost, it's soil memory building. If you've been composting faithfully but still feeling underwhelmed, this isn't your fault. You were taught a system designed for waste management, not soil regeneration. This carbon-negative raised bed changes the question from, how do I make compost? To, how do I feed soil life directly? Once you see the difference, you'll never go back. If this article helped shift how you see composting and raised beds, make sure to subscribe to the Soilpower YouTube channel, SCA.